It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, three-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he's feeling a little see-through today. Dale Hellestree's here, everybody.
I never realized that I have a requirement to wear a certain colored shirt.
No light blues and no green. How long have you worked here?
You've never said, "Hey, Dale, make sure you don't wear a green shirt." Don't make sure you don't wear a light blue shirt.
First of all, I'm pretty sure we have.
I don't think so.
So you're taking the magic out of it. People literally thought we had built and constructed this giant brick wall behind you. Now you're ruining the fun. Now everybody sees the magic of television.
Well, see, I think that if you wouldn't have said anything, most people wouldn't have noticed.
Nobody would have noticed the brick pattern on your...
Yeah.
on you.
Just like most people wouldn't notice the picture behind the picture.
Whatever. Well, you know what? All that matters is I notice it.
We had some people over last night. I said, "Here, look at this picture. Tell me what could possibly irritate you."
But they were friends. They were probably Brooks' friends, too. And so they were being nice. They were like, "Oh my God, this picture's so amazing. I love the double pictures of you guys. It's so cute. Oh my God, it's so cute."
No, they're just nice people.
I'm nice too.
To who?
I'm not. I'm nice. I'm the only one to tell you it looks ridiculous. Stop it. Don't do it again. Everybody else is lying to you to make you feel to lie you some smoke. I'm the honest one.
Wow.
Dale just won't let it go, folks, that I pointed out.
I said, "Hey, I got this idiot that I do a podcast with.
Do a show with.
This picture bothered him all day on Sunday."
Yeah, but you said, "There's a picture behind you. You need to just show him the picture."
I did.
Not tell him what's wrong with it.
No, I said, "Do you see anything weird about this?" Well,
you phrased it weird, though. You go weird, and then they're going to be looking for something weird. It's not weird. It's ridiculous.
Double the fun, Steve. Double the fun.
They were just being nice to you.
Okay.
I'm the only one that'll be honest to you. That's the difference.
Steve, there's one question we have to figure out today.
Oh, one? Only one today?
Only one.
It's going to be a quick show, folks, because we solve things here on the main event.
Does ASU cover the 21.5 point spread?
Yeah. I got them losing by 30. If you don't know, I was driving in this morning. Me and Bruce Cooper were talking about it, because me and Bruce Cooper, we're going to go to a game here coming up, and Dale, you're not invited.
Wow.
You're invited. It's just you have to go into Tempe, and we know you don't leave we don't leave the upper mountain range.
Not at night.
No. There's coyotes run across the road, and you got to come down with the riffraff running around out there. When you get down to the bottom of the mountain base.
Maybe an afternoon Saturday game.
And it was funny, too, because he goes, no, it's at Arizona tonight.
Yeah.
And then they're at Houston. So they're folks. Woo. What's the point differential going to be in these two games? 60? 70? It'd be combined. But we were talking, and I just looked at him, and Bruce just looks at me and goes, "We got to find a game where they don't play a really good team in the Big 12. And I was like, I agree with you. I go, I'd love to see BYU and that young kid. I'd love to see Houston. I'd love to see Arizona because they're the number one seed. But I just don't know if I can sit through a 30-point, 40-point blowout. I just can't do it.
No.
I just couldn't do it.
How fun would that be?
No, that's what we both came to the same conclusion. No, we'll get a team that they'll compete against. There's no competition tonight. I'm surprised the spread's only 27.5.
21.
20. Well, it should be 27.5. 8:30 p.m. tip-off, too, Dell. You're going to stay up and watch it on top of it.
Ooh, that's late.
You're going to stay up and watch that?
I don't think I'll make it to the second half.
Well, you won't have to.
Yeah.
They'll be so blown up. Arizona State's going to struggle with Arizona's big guys. Period. End of story. That's going to be the big problem that they're going to have. No pun intended. And then just the talent disparity here is going to be ugly. How fast does Bobby Hurley get tossed out of this game tonight with some anger thing where he's perceived he's being slighted by – if I were the referees tonight – so referees, you're in your hotel room this morning down in Tucson, waking up and wondering where your life has gone wrong, that you're in Tucson. And
eating
waking
your
up
breakfast
in Tucson.
buffet.
your omelet. And you're sitting there. Take some deep breaths this morning and just come up with some witty responses to Bobby Hurley tonight when he perceives that you're screwing him over. Maybe something like, Coach, you recruited these kids, not us. How about they're just better than you, man. What do you want us to do about it? We can't foul you we could foul out the whole starting five and they're still going to beat you by 30, sir. Think of those types of witty comebacks for him. Because when he rips you a new one, because you're perceived to do something wrong tonight. It's going to be ugly.
Well, if you look at it this way, if Bobby gets tossed early, he could be back to Tempe by the time the game gets over.
Bobby's like, I'm driving myself.
Yeah, I'll meet you guys down there.
Why is Bobby doing that? You can get back up quicker. To study film for Houston for the blowout against Houston next up. Bobby Hurley, this is what I found out. I didn't pull the clip because I don't like Bobby Hurley's press conferences. It's like Jonathan Gannon annoyed me to death. I gave up on Bobby Hurley years ago in his press conferences. He just says nonsensical things. They're 2-8 against Arizona under Bobby Hurley, just in Arizona by itself. Now, in his defense, and he says this in his response. He said, "Look, a lot of people don't win in Tucson," and he's not wrong. It's not deal. But then he goes, "Being 2-8 is actually pretty good with how much they win down there." And I was just looking at the screen when I saw that and was just like, "What? Why did you add that last part?" Yeah, you point that out. They don't lose in Tucson very often.
Yes.
We're fortunate to have 2 wins down there. We're looking to get our 3rd tonight down there. You say something to that effect. But then to add, well, so 2-8 is actually really good.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Oh, my God. Your team's awful, sir.
2-8.
They're going to start, by the way, because they beat Kansas State by 2 the other day. Kansas State's a lower-level Big 12 team. They beat them by 2. So they're 1-2 in Big 12. Arizona at Houston coming up next. They're starting the Big 12 at 1-4. Unless a miracle happens.
Would you expect anything different?
I
mean,
that is true because they do play at the 9th ranked BYU.
Yeah.
They're playing the high. Well, maybe that's what they need. They need to play these high ranked Big 12 teams early, so it'll look like they're having an epic comeback in Big 12. Oh my God! Look at the resiliency in the second half of the Big 12 schedule when they play the lower tier teams.
Well, I just pull up and I look at the top 10. Just open my eyes.
I mean, is there? I know there's 3. Is there 4 Big 12 teams in the Big 12 teams in the top 10?
In the top 11, you got Arizona,
Okay.
Iowa State 1-2, 2 undefeated teams.
Yep.
2 of 3 undefeated teams.
Yeah.
That vaunted Vandy team. Do you realize they were undefeated?
Yeah, I did. Michigan just lost. Everybody was saying Michigan's better than Arizona. And they're closing the gap on Arizona. And then Michigan lost over the weekend. Womp, womp.
Arizona, Iowa State, Houston's at number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Pitiful 15-1. BYU's at 15-1, number 11.
Yeah. Okay,
Texas
so BYU
Tech
went to 11 then because they were 9 and then they lost. So.
Texas Tech is at 15. And that is it for the Big 12.
Yeah.
Kansas is just outside.
I was say there's more teams in the top 25.
Yeah.
That's just the top 11 then. Yeah. And BYU was in the top. I couldn't remember. I didn't know how far they fell this week. I didn't look that far down. Yeah, Kansas is struggling this year, but they're still in the top 25.
Yeah.
So are we going to win? I said they would beat Arizona State would beat the bottom tier teams of the. I'm not even sure that's going to happen now. When you beat Kansas State by 2. But the sad thing, it's going to be like the Cardinals. It's not that you lose against these top tier teams because you're expected to. It's how do you lose? Are you losing by 40? Are you losing by 50? Is it uncompetitive the whole time? That tells you a different story. That's what I said about the Cardinals with Jonathan Gannon. It's not that they were losing. It's how they were losing.
Yeah.
That you got to pay attention to and stuff like that. But yeah, Tucson, have fun tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
There's not a Big 12 team with a losing record.
Overall?
Overall.
Well,
I mean,
Doesn't Arizona State, aren't they going to, they'll go 500 if they lose tonight, right?
No, ASU's 10-6.
That's right, because they Kansas State, they won that one.
The bottom two, Cincinnati and Utah, are both 8-8.
Yeah. That just means you played lower tier teams in your non-conference schedule.
Right.
That's about to flip. Well, if we were in the SEC, all of them would be tournament teams.
Oh, is that in basketball too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas had a losing conference record last year and made that play-in game with Dayton and then got blown out. Yeah. Go SEC. On a side note, so that's tonight. ASU, Arizona. Territorial Cup basketball's on the line tonight.
So are you taking ASU or Arizona 21 and
Oh,
a half?
Arizona's winning this game by 30 or 40.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think Coach Lloyd will take it a little easy on the Sun?
No. Koa Pete.
Pete will sit out.
This is the problem. The bench guys for Arizona would start and have success at Arizona State. It's not a knock on Arizona State. That's what he's recruited, the European kids, the next tier down kids to play here this year. That's fine. Recruited it. You're just not going to compete with the top level teams. And then you got Arizona, who's just their bench guys. They're going to be pro players. That's the problem. Yeah, Koa Pete, all the starters of Arizona, yeah, they'll be out in the third quarter. Perfect. And then the talent comes in. It's going to be so ugly tonight.
Crazy.
I'm glad it's 8:30, so I'm not going to be subjected to have to stay awake and watch the whole thing, maybe. Like last night's Suns game, I turned that off early, man. I was tired of watching them be 20 points up, or 20 points down at one point. I tuned it back in when they started coming back. But really quick, Flash Gordon chimes in on the text line, 623-252-6670. Text us anytime you're watching everything. He texted yesterday at 12:19 p.m. He says, Dale, who takes the time to call in and fill out a complaint over tire pressure? Again.
Yeah.
Again, folks, I don't know how to make this more clear to you.
I'm busy.
I do it not to complain, but to let them know how they're sucking at their jobs. So if they want to fix it, they can fix it. I guarantee you, Discount Tire has zero idea that when you pull up to their tire pressure upper thing, it's happened to me twice in 2 different stores now. So if they're doing it to me in my car, they're doing it to all the ladies there that don't dirty their hands or don't know how to do it and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying.
Doesn't that make you one of the ladies?
Yes, we've been over this. You and Paul Mercurio made fun of me for an hour about that on here. Oh, no, trust me. I was standing in that line looking at all the other cars, looking at all the drivers, and I'm the only dude in there waiting my turn.
I'm not going to get pretty little hands all dirty.
And the best part is I do have a tire pressure upper thingy at the house.
Pressure upper.
Yeah, whatever. Excuse me as I get technical on you guys. I didn't mean to get so technical. I apologize.
An air pressure machine?
Yeah, sure.
Tire pressure upper.
Yeah, so I'm not doing it. I'm just doing it. I'm taking the valuable time that I have. First of all, I have way too much free time, and I acknowledge that. Second of all, I'm like I said, I'm doing it to just let them know. I'm not doing it to get anybody in trouble. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Like I said, the classic collision thing. I don't care. Keep Joe employed. I don't give a crap. I'm never going there again. But hey, companies should be aware that they ripped me off and purposely did so. They should be aware of it. And if they want to continue to employ him and have him continue to rip people off, well, then it's on the company. But I feel the company doesn't know about it unless you notify them of that. And if somebody, it wasn't to get them in trouble. It was, and I should have said something to the people there, but I'm like in shock as I'm driving off. Like my tire pressure went down.
Am I going to have to change a tire again?
So you just pass it along to them. That's all you do. You just pass it along and say, hey, just an FYI. This has happened twice to me now in 2 different locations where I stood in the line for 20 plus minutes to get my tire pressure put back to normal. And it actually went down. Just an FYI to you.
Mr. McCollum, would you like a spare tire on your new truck? Nah, I don't need a spare tire. I don't know how to change them anyway.
Yeah. Did I complain to manager about the dude razzing me because I had the car towed with a flat tire? No. I took those lumps. I deserve those lumps.
Doesn't have a spare tire.
And then Flash says, Steve, how about Mike Tomlin? No. My eyes, no. He's in the Harbaugh camp with me.
What's that?
Been in a position too long. It scares me for him for his next location. Will he have the same drive? Will it be the same situation there as well? Now, Mike Tomlin's more intriguing to me than Harbaugh is, just because Mike Tomlin has done more with less at Pittsburgh. Like, they don't go and sign the big free agents. They don't go and get trade for big name guys. They got an over the hill DK Metcalf. They got an over the hill Aaron Rodgers. Things to that effect. And he's done more. He's got them to the playoffs. Like, God, could you just imagine if we're the Cardinals and we're complaining because we went to the playoffs 13 out of 18 years? And you lost in the first round, but you made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Tomlin more than anything. But the thing that obviously should scare you about Tomlin is you're going to have to trade for him, one. And two, when a coach resigns a position and he's not fired, which they never were going to fire him. It would have been a mutual decision or whatever.
Right.
But he did that, and the Steelers are retaining his rights. That tells me he doesn't have a desire to coach right now. He wants a break from coaching. And the rumors are he's going to go into the broadcast booth for a year or so and then redetermine it at that point. He's going to make more money in the broadcast booth than he did as a head coach. He's going to realize how easy that job is compared to being a head coach. I'm not sure he's ever going to come back to being a head coach. But when a coach quits, him and the team don't work out a deal to where he's a free agent and the team still has his rights, that tells me he's not interested in coaching, period, end of story.
That very well could be. I mean, again, and even Holmberg brought this up yesterday, the fact that Bill Cowher supposedly is going to TV for a year or maybe two.
Ravens, before Harbaugh, I just forgot his name. Brian Billick. He did the same thing. I'm just going to go to TV for a year.
Yeah.
6 years later, he's like, yeah, I'm never coaching.
Are you kidding me?
Good.
Making seven figures and show up on the Saturday morning.
That's what worries me about Harbaugh, the fact that he wants to get back into coaching so quickly. That also scares me a little bit.
So how would you play so the guy who wants to take a break, the guy who doesn't want to take a break, they both scare you?
Well, they scare me in terms of the Arizona Cardinals head coach. Look, if you're the rumors to Harbaugh is Falcons, Titans, and Giants. Those guys don't scare me because those guys have a young core. They have quarterbacks. He can come in and instantly push them above the top if he wants to coach. But we saw it last year with the Suns. Coach Bud, he took a paycheck. Detroit saw it with Monty after Monty left here. He didn't want to coach, but they offered him so much money that he's like, I'm going to go to Detroit.
Right.
What was it, fired after 20 games or something like that? That's where you got to worry about it. Is your heart in it? Because, I bring up the Jimmy Johnson situation where he goes to Miami and he's not showing up. He's not working as hard. He's not paying as close attention there and everything. He's out fishing more than he is in the facilities. It's just that's what you got to worry about in that stuff. And from an Arizona Cardinals perspective, if I was a certain teams, I would like if I was the Steelers, I'd hire Harbaugh today because he encapsulates what you want to do. But for the Cardinals, you could just see them coming out here and being on the golf course or being in Flagstaff all the time or whatever. So it scares me as a Cardinals head coach. But yeah, Tomlin's out.
Oh, I would think so. I don't think Arizona would be on his radar.
Why? Well, that's issue number 2. It's got to be a two-way street. Mm-hmm. Hey, don't forget, man, the Cardinals. The amount of people excited that the Cardinals talked to John Harbaugh on the phone cracks me up. We got a phone call? What? That's how sad and pitiful our lives are here in Arizona as Cardinals fans. Y'all got excited over a phone call.
Maybe John Harbaugh didn't have his glasses on. He's like, "What is that area code? I can't."
His agent, he's like, "I'm not talking to him." And his agent's like, "Hey, John, your wife's on the phone." And it's Monty. And then whole conversation, Harbaugh's all like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, absolutely. Tell me more about Arizona's program. And
how much you gonna pay me?"
The thing I don't get about Harbaugh, now keep it in mind. These are negotiation tactics. But if Harbaugh ends up with the Titans, I get it. They have $100 million in salary cap, young quarterback. They're going into a new stadium. Some of the stuff that Vrabel had to deal with on the politics side is out of the organization, but the owner is still there. And the owner's a egomaniac from all we've learned, second-generation wealth. Egomaniac, they cause problems within the building. They've reportedly taken a step back a little bit in terms of interfering, but it's still there reportedly. Why would you go into that? Like, I just don't believe Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh is going to use the Titans for more money from either the Giants or the Falcons.
Yeah, and I could very easily see
and I would like to see him with the Falcons, if you want to know my truth, more than the Giants. I'd like to see him because the Falcons' talent, I just cannot believe that Arthur Blank, who, by the way, Arthur Blank does not spend big money on coaches. John Mara and Giants does. They've never spent big money on coaches in Atlanta. If this is the time to do it, this is the time to do it. Because I want to see what an established good coach can do with that offensive talent in Atlanta. We just haven't seen it. Raheem Morris, when the Falcons were here, watching Bijan, now he was tired a few times. So you got to give him, he's got to go out for a rest. There were multiple times on big plays where they were just like, "Hey, Bijan, this ain't your play, buddy. Come on to the sideline." And you're like, the most dynamic guy on the field, you're pulling off for this play?
Right.
I'd like to see somebody take advantage of that and figure out how to use it properly, from that side. The other side of it is that alarms me about Tomlin. I saw this yesterday, and it made sense the second I read it. None of his coaches have ever gone on to other positions. He has no coaching tree.
No coaching tree.
Harbaugh has a very limited coaching tree. Yeah. What does that say? What does that say about a coach? To me, it says everybody's comfortable in their position. No fire in their belly.
Well, what it tells me, and I brought this up somewhere, maybe it was just some friends. In fact, there's some coaches who want to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yes.
And then there's guys like the Rams coach,
McVay,
who is probably the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
But he wants to bring in guys who are going to challenge him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes a good leader.
Yeah.
If you always want to bring in people who are not as smart as you, how are you ever going to improve?
Are you saying Harbaugh and Tomlin don't bring in guys this way?
Yeah,
they don't want to be challenged. It's their way or the highway. Yeah. And nobody like if I was a head coach today, I would hire all these young and coming guys that think they're snotty nose, and everything, because they're going to bring ideas. They're going to bring stuff because they have my job is to promote you. Like if I was a head coach and I did not have a coaching tree, I would consider myself a head coach failure. Even if I had 30 Super Bowls, no, I didn't do a good enough job of getting guys promoted in this league and that stuff. But yeah, so that's what that tells me with Tomlin and Harbaugh. That it didn't hit me till yesterday. Yeah, I don't know if there's a fire in the belly from that side of perspective of things. I think it's more of,
again, John, who lives, breathes, dies Pittsburgh football, has pointed that out for years. Yeah. Holmberg, he said there is no coaching tree.
Yeah, I didn't know that till yesterday.
It's kind of crazy.
Didn't dawn on me. Some guys don't have coaching trees because they suck. Like the guys underneath them suck. Andy Reid, for instance. Andy Reid doesn't have a coaching tree underneath. He does, but it's very small and falls off. But Eberflus was terrible. Matt Nagy was terrible. That's what a good coach will do. He'll make guys look good, and then he puts them out on their own, and then they fail. Whereas guys like Bill Parcells, his coaching tree is ridiculous. Uh-huh. With successful guys underneath them. I don't know. That does worry me about them as coaches as well, to be honest with you. If you're just content with who you got there and everything.
The one thing we have not discussed about the Cardinals, Are they in a rebuild? Are they in a retool? Are they in a bring a guy in and everybody gets healthy and
Yeah, you're going to know the answer to that with who they hire. I'll tell you. I'll tell you my. You want to know my thoughts on what they
that's
are?
what I'm saying.
They're in a rebuild again.
Rebuild
again. 3 years of a rebuild just to rebuild again. Well, one, you need a new quarterback. That's automatically a rebuild, unless you're Seattle. But two, they brought in all these defensive guys. They blew out the guy. Did anybody see Dennis Gardeck play for Jacksonville this weekend by chance? 45? All over that defensive field, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was running down line. He was running back tight ends to make tackles everywhere. You got rid of Kazir White and those guys to bring in high-powered guys that you brought in a free agency that are supposed to be better, and you went backwards. Now, if you go out there and you get an established head coach, which there are a few on the list, we'll talk about some additions here. At what point is there too many interviews? That's like when you go to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and they have a 30-page menu. It's too many choices, man.
They can't cook every one of them as good as the next one.
And you're looking at it going, well, I like the chicken pot pie, but oh, man, but this hamburger looks good. And oh, my God, this pasta dish looks good. And oh, my God, this looks good. And no, just give me that front and back. I'm good with it.
You're not a Cheesecake Factory guy?
yeah. Nailed it. No, it's awful. Cheesecake Factory is awful.
Now, I will say this. The one thing I would do, and I've told you this before if I'm the Cardinals, is I'd bring in 5-6 guys, and I'd ask them what would they do, what do they see, so that even if I don't hire them,
I get that.
Maybe something clicks and goes, oh, gosh, that's sitting right in front of us, and we didn't even think about that.
So my new theory on what the Cardinals are doing is not even that. My theory on the Cardinals are they're interviewing a bunch of young, up-and-coming guys, the hottest guys in their circles. Not necessarily, and if somebody wows them, then they'll hire them. They're just like, let's get the up-and-coming guys. But I think they have a guy in mind that's still in the playoffs. And they're gonna be the last team to hire because the guy that they hire might be in the Super Bowl.
So you're telling me it's not after San Francisco loses this weekend that you hire Salah
Sunday
night?
I hope that's what they do. I got a bad feeling. I got a feeling. I don't know if it's bad, but I got a feeling it'll be a team that goes deep into these playoffs. They have an eye on somebody, so they're kind of like stalling right now. Hey, let's bring in all these guys. Because the guy we want, Jonathan Gannon wasn't even on the radar in circles when they hired him.
They tampered with him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, leading into it, it wasn't like, oh, Jonathan Gannon's coming in for interviews. It was like one day we woke up and they were like, Jonathan Gannon, your new head coach. And we're all like, who? What? Wait, what?
Then we're hearing the Philly fans cheer.
I know. Robert does say at TME Sports Show, didn't know Helly would be paying homage to John Cena today. That's right. Can't see Dale. We need to get a green stocking for you too. So you're just hidden in the bricks. Yeah, he's wearing the green shirt. All these years with the green screen behind him, and
it looks red to me.
I'm actually more impressed that you've never done this before.
I don't wear green very often.
Yeah, obviously not. I have a bunch of green shirts. I don't have a green screen behind me. I have a green shirt I don't even wear because of that concept. I don't even have a green screen behind me. So I think you're gonna determine what the Cardinals think they're in with who they hire. If they hire one of these low end coaches, guys that nobody else is looking at, did she? That's gonna be rebuild mode. That coach is just gonna come in for 2 to 3 years and then get blown out again. They go with an established guy that tells you they just think they can retool and get back. This team has enough talent on the defensive side. I do find it interesting they're looking at defensive coordinators more than offensive coordinators, though. What does that tell us?
That tells you that they're willing to go right back down the same road.
That's what it tells me. We just didn't have the right guy to get us out of that stuff. but we like where this team is headed. That's what that tells me, Dale. They're delusional if they think that's the case. So new names added. We told you before, Rams DC, Chris Shula, Rams OC, Mike LaFleur, Packers DC, Jeff Hafley, Raheem Morris, of course. He's ex-Falcons head coach. He's a defensive guy, just so you guys know if you don't know. Nat Nagy, Chiefs offensive coordinator. He's an offensive guy, obviously. Clint Kubiak from the Seahawks. Robert Salah, 49ers defense. Vance Joseph defense. Dolphins defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver. And Patriots, Thomas Brown. Those are the guys we've told you list before. Yesterday during the show, we told you Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter was added on the list and interviewed. That one impresses me. He's got a 2-year really good track record there in Chargers land. And if you watched the Chargers game the other night, you're going to go, what are you talking about? They sucked. That defense was tired. That offense was doing nothing.
Yeah.
He's got top 5 defense both years he's been in Chargers land. So that one does intrigue me a little bit. Now, but again, doesn't mean he's going to be a good head coach. There's so many unknowns taking a guy that's never had head coach experience and if he's going to translate into the head coach. We just saw Cliff Kingsbury fail, and we just saw Jonathan Gannon fail. Both not able to make the transition to the head coach side of things from that side. So that's the first concern that you got. And then they added, and this one is really intriguing, Texans defensive coordinator Matt Burke. He's been here before. He was here in the last, I know, folks, he was here in the last season of Cliff Kingsbury, which wasn't a good year. I understand that.
He was?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
This isn't Denzel Burke.
No, this is Matt Burke.
Okay.
But what has he done this year? He started the year just as a defensive guy on the Texans. Then not Robert Salah, their head coach, DeMeco Ryans, went, oh my God, our defense is terrible with me calling things. So I'm going to hand you, Matt Burke, our defensive play calling. And now it's the best defense, historically great defense in Texans land this year. That one's intriguing to me because what does that show you? That shows you, one, the guy's adaptable. His coach gave him the duties. He was ready for it, and he improved that defense almost instantly. And it's continued to be good. You see them the other night? Woo! Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Tomlin's out of a job because of it. So that one intrigues me as well. But again, how do you reconcile that to can he step up to the head coaching side of things?
Right.
You don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you that this is about to be a disaster. This is about to be a disaster hire.
Unless if they hire Salah as soon as there's no way San Francisco can win this week.
I tend to agree with you.
There is no way they can win this week. I mean,
well, this is my point. Go get your guy, Cardinals. Like the fact you're interviewing all these guys tells me either they're waiting till the final position and then they're going to hire the guy like they always do, or they're buying their time for their guy to come out of the playoffs.
You just, again.
And it better be number 2.
The second option.
Buying your time till your guy becomes available, and then you go snatch him. Here's the problem, though. Doesn't the Pittsburgh job just scream Robert Salah's toughness, Robert Salah's attitude, and Robert Salah's whatever? Yeah, doesn't the Steelers job just scream that? That's the problem. You got better jobs that'll probably fit him better than Arizona.
That's why I'm saying you got to pay a little bit of a tax if you're Arizona.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of these days you don't have to pay a tax.
Well, you have to get good. You have to beat Baltimore. Hey, speaking of this cracked me up yesterday. Ravens, of course, are the best job out there. You got Lamar Jackson. Now, their defense has gone backwards. Their offense has gone backwards the last couple of years. Blame Harbaugh, don't blame Harbaugh, whatever. But their talents kind of suffered the last few years. Ravens owner out there, Mr. Bisciotti. He's an interesting dude. He just likes consistency. I did like his comment. I didn't pull this clip, but everybody's like, who was it? Somebody came out in the national media and said, "Oh, it was Tony Dungy. What are the Ravens doing? You know, they got rid of a good guy to try to find that guy again." And the owner of the Ravens yesterday goes, we're the people that found that guy.
Right.
Like, you can't say we're trying to find that guy when we found him the first time. Well, who says we can't find him again? I love the response. I love the fire on it. But he was asked, and the question's in here, but he was asked a specific question. Would Harbaugh be here today if that field goal was made? Here is the Ravens owner yesterday. I left the question in so you guys can see it and his facial reaction. Here's the Ravens owner yesterday.
If Tyler Loop makes that field goal, is John Harbaugh still here coaching this team?
For a week.
For a week, okay.
Oh, he's not going to make a change going to the playoffs?
Basically, he's saying he was out of here no matter
Yeah.
what this year. We were moving on from him. And make no mistake about it, they chose Lamar over the coaching staff.
Well, what's interesting about Harbaugh, I know some people talk about it, very few people talk about it, the fact that he was a special teams coach.
Yes.
And what's always interesting to me, I've always thought there should be more special teams coaches who get looks as a head coach.
Yeah, generally don't.
Because special teams coaches are the only coach who deals with the entire roster other than the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive coordinator does offense, defense coordinator does defense.
Yeah.
Special teams coach, all the players are involved in one way or another.
The special teams guy will know who's there for the game, who's there for a paycheck, because if they don't want to do special teams, like, oh, they're just divas or whatever. Yeah, I agree with you. He's the only one, though. Name another special teams coach.
There hasn't been.
Yeah.
And that kind of.
And when they hired him, it was controversial.
Oh, yeah.
When they hired him, it was like, what are we doing?
Yep.
But I just want an owner, man. He did the opposite of Jerry Jones yesterday, too. He goes, yeah, I'm not going to own this team in 5 or 10 years. He goes, I'm going to be in my 70s. I'm not passing this along to my kids. I'm selling this. We're taking the cash out of this thing. So I can leave my cash for the kids. He's a billionaire anyway, besides this. Just his attitude on there. And then Tomlin got fired, announced that Tomlin got fired during his press conference. And one of the reporters was like, hey, what about Tomlin? And he goes, oh, is that going to happen? And he goes, it's official from what we're seeing. And he literally goes, excuse my language, but he goes, oh, shit. Wouldn't that be amazing? Tomlin comes here, Harbaugh goes there. I was just like, this guy's so great.
He's in his 70s?
No, he said he would be when he's I think he said he'd be in his 80s.
So he's in his 70s?
Yeah, he's old. I'll tell you this, I haven't seen him in a while. He looked really old to me in these pictures. He's 65 years old right now.
Biscotti?
Yeah.
I think he looks pretty damn good
for
65.
Look, he's that old Italian guy, man. Shirt unbuttoned a little too low, tan all the time.
Wow.
That was the oldest. When I saw him yesterday, I was like, ooh, he got old from last time I saw him. He got old. Hey, but when you got a coach you don't like running your team, that can take you down. That can add stress to you. Just have you ever seen an owner say that before? Yeah, for a week. Insinuating he's gone regardless. Beautiful things there.
But you appreciate that.
I do. I know. I loved it. I told you going into this. I said 2 years. His problem is, and he did the same thing with Brian Billick as well. He hangs on to coaches for about 2 years, 3 years too long. Now he wants the consistency. I understand that.
Right.
But he does hang on to him for an extra couple years than he should. That would be which. That's a tough criticism to have, isn't it? Oh, you hang on to successful head coaches for a couple years too long. It'd be interesting to see. So where we are on that. All that being said, ratings for the NFL have not dipped at all. Rams-Panthers, the early game.
On Saturday,
2:30 our time. But that is the quote unquote the worst game of the weekend because it's they're expecting the smallest audience.
Yes,
and they did get the smallest audience not by a lot. 28 million people watched that Rams-Panthers game.
Really?
And I even saw when they broke down the numbers. They broke it down, and I actually saw that as that game went on, more people tuned in because obviously it was a close game. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about that. that last touchdown pass to Parkinson that he caught to score that game-winning touchdown. Just an amazing throw and catch from that side as well. Here's the thing, though. Packers-Bears. That was on Prime Video. You have to have your subscription. You have to pay whatever, however much Prime is these days. 31.6 million people tuned into that game. Packers-Bears on Prime. Now, keep in mind, that was on Prime, folks. First game was on Fox. That's Saturday night. Bills-Jaguars on CBS on Sunday morning, 32.7. Niners-Eagles on Fox, 41 million, biggest audience in a long time for this round of a game, 41 million. And then, if you don't know, the Sunday night games do fall down a little bit, and then it became a blowout. But Chargers-Patriots on NBC were 28.9 million people. That means 11 million people didn't fall asleep and just leave their TV on NBC. They lost that audience there when they went from that side.
So
that is a terrible rating, by the way, for that Chargers-Patriots game, 28.9. I know that sounds weird, but that's a terrible rating for that spot. But again, the game was a blowout.
So I just pulled up 2025 World Series TV rankings.
8 million?
No.
Oh, I bet you they made 11.
16.1,
Oh.
they set a record.
Okay.
For the World Series,
Who was in the World Series?
16.1.
Dodgers and who?
Wasn't it Toronto?
Oh, that's right, Toronto.
16.1 million
She hadn't even remember.
for the World Series.
Yeah. This was a
Wild card weekend.
Saturday, 2:30 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday. All the kids are out there doing their sporting events. You're recovering from the holidays. You're looking at your credit card bill, trying to figure out, if you're like me, trying to figure out how you're paying that stuff. Isn't that nuts? And that the Sunday night game is considered terrible. They're happy with the Prime one. I know that because of the subscription side of it. And by the way, the Prime one also is a younger audience. Old people like this guy over here don't tune in because they don't have Prime. They don't know how to load it up and stuff like that. So the Prime audience actually skews lower, younger, which actually you'll take a lower rating. NASCAR ran into this last year. Their Prime schedule, they had 5 races on Prime, and the ratings were lower by several million. But they had more of the younger demographic watching it, which is what they want because you get more ad revenue from that group than they do the old people watching it. So it is fascinating to see how that goes. But yeah, nauseating.
And just to compare the NBA Finals last year between the Thunder and the Pacers, 10.2 million.
That's what it averaged?
Yeah.
I think it actually went down after Halliburton got hurt, if I remember right.
Well, it said it averaged 10.2 million.
Yeah, that's why I asked if it was the average. But I think like the last game or two after Halliburton got hurt, I think it lost a lot of steam.
You wonder why the
side.
NFL can charge whatever they want.
And that's why everything's going streaming. Because the younger audience pay attention. Screw you old people, Dale.
Well, if you're an NBA, if you're an NFL owner and you see those numbers,
they don't
$31 million.
That's why they don't care. And then they see that the revenue is going to be more because more 20 or more 18 to 18 to 29 or 18 to 35.
Yeah.
More of those people are watching. Yeah. We could have gotten $40 million for that Bears Packers game, but we wouldn't have gotten that coveted number where we would get more money for the revenue. The owners don't care. They've made the transition, which actually does bother me on a side note, because there are a lot of people in this generation of the older generation that some of them are homebound now. You don't get out as much. Dale's all about town, if you don't know. Every time I look at him, he's someplace new, in front of some new picture.
Are you saying I'm one step away from a hospice care center?
You're not. But no, but a lot of older people don't, they're not just out running around like they used to and stuff to that effect. They just sit home and enjoy the football games and stuff like my grandmother late in her life, she had dementia. It was like she had to, if she wasn't at D-back Stadium at Chase Field, she had to be home for that game at first pitch.
Right.
That's what she looked forward to for the last 5-6 years of her life and everything. And so to put it on Prime where now these guys have to, it's just what are you doing? They don't care. It's all about the youngins. About the youngins out there. Come on back, folks. Not second hour. Jeez. Second part of the first hour is coming your way. We got so much more to talk about. Major League Baseball. I don't know. Something happened yesterday. The amount of people upset about this trade when the rumors were out there amazes me. People just don't know baseball anymore, folks. Come on back. Main event. We'll talk about it. And we're back here, main events. We're all over here checking our phones, having some fun here.
Well, you just never know. I mean, somebody else might get fired.
I know.
Somebody else might get hired.
Well, it was funny. So I'm sitting over in the office, in the production office yesterday, and, we did McCollum on Business at 7. It's back to 11 o'clock today as well. We're just testing the morning show for a couple different reasons. I'll let you in on a little secret here. Thinking about maybe moving the business show to a morning version of it and then an afternoon version of it, possibly coming your way. If not, maybe move it to one or the other. But a couple things we're trying out. So we did that yesterday. And John Holmberg does a podcast as well, a sports podcast with Dale and Nash is what you guys call him on there. But the Angry Patriot from the Real Matrix here. And by the middle of that, I'm sitting over there and just pops up on my screen. Breaking. Tomlin resigns. So I text Dale. And I'm watching the production things like Dale's not looking at his phone. And I'm like, all right. So then I text Holmberg. And I'm sitting there watching the screen. Nobody's looking at their phone. So then I walk in here and I'm all shaking my phone, like, hey, look, because he's a big Steelers fan. I felt like I had to give him the news.
Boy, he immediately, once you came into the room, because your presence is felt when you come walking in the room.
I was trying to do it so it wouldn't be interrupted. All of a sudden he's like, I'm getting yelled at here. Hold on a second. What's going on? And I'm like, oh my God, just look at your damn phone and keep talking.
By the way, it's breaking news, Evan. The Cardinals, another underwhelming interview request.
What was this one a phone call? Do we have a phone call here too?
A gentleman named Arthur Smith, the highly coveted Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator, that imaginative offense he put out on the field.
Seriously? But he's got head coaching experience. Wasn't he in Atlanta?
Yeah.
He's the one before Raheem Morris that I was like, how can you not figure out what to do with Bijan Robinson?
Yes. That should be a disqualifying
I agree.
trait.
I agree 100%. He was the one before Raheem Morris where I was just like, how do you – that was Bijan Robinson's first year or two in the league, you were just like, this guy could be so much better than what they're giving him an opportunity to be. He was the coach there for that. Yeah, but then you bring up the second point. Oh, my God, that Steelers offense this year was atrocious. Just got awful atrocious. Yeah, I don't know what I just pray to God, Dale. I just pray to God that they're just buying their time. They're just swinging on wide net because they're just talking to people, like you said, to get the idea of the team. Maybe somebody wows them. Remember Tomlin when he got that Steelers job? Nobody thought he would get it. He went in and wowed them to where they were like, oh, my God, this guy's impressive. Let's get him now because we won't get him another time. That's how that happened. So I can understand that. But the guy should be either somebody's going to wow you to death or your guy, you can't talk to your guy because of it. But also at the same time, like for Robert Salah, you can talk to his agent. Can't you? Or is that still tampering?
I don't know what the exact rules are, but I don't think that would be tampering.
You just ask, go, hey, do we have a chance here? And
Yeah.
the agent goes, no. You go, okay, thank you. Next up. Scratch that one off the list.
I mean,
you call about a different player, and you go,
different coach.
yeah, different coach, and you go, hey, we want to talk to this guy. Just a heads up, we'd like to talk to your customer. And he goes, hey, yeah, and by the way, Sunday might be available. Might have another guy for you.
Do you even fly Arthur Smith out here first class? Do you put him on Southwest coach?
This is where you just do a Zoom interview, right?
Yeah. Oh, but I want to come out and see his facilities. Nah, we're going to do Zoom.
We don't want your Atlanta Falcons and Steelers offensive stink in here. We still have Penzing we're trying to clean out.
Gosh, yeah, that reminds me an awful lot of a Penzing offense.
I just got depressed by you telling me that. Just, oh my God. I think they're trying to interview every offensive and defensive coordinator in the league. But here's my question. You want to get an idea. Now, it goes two ways. So there might be teams but if you want to get a perception of your team from a guy with experience, why aren't you at least having a phone conversation with Stefanski? You're not getting him. But why are you not having a phone conversation with Mike whatever his name was, with McDaniel with the Dolphins? Why are you at least not asking for a phone interview with them? They're not even in the conversation.
Haven't even, brought it
By the
up.
way, those are two guys I would not hire as your head coach. Stefanski, I get it, coach of the year, I get it, and it was on a bad team. But what did he do to elevate that team? Like, if he would have elevated the Browns, absolutely. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm focusing on guys that do more with less is what I'm looking at here. That's what I said. Raheem Morris, I do not want him as the head coach. Don't take this the wrong way. But if they were to come out today and say Raheem Morris is our next head coach, underwhelming? Yes. Underperformed? Yes, with the talent on the Falcons. But he did something the Cardinals aren't able to do, 8-9 in 2 seasons.
But you kind of look at that and go, well, when they were basically eliminated, they
started winning.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. His team didn't quit on him. Something you pay attention to. Why were we all high on Jonathan Gannon after year 2? The team didn't quit. They fought to the end of the season, even in year 1. Why did we all turn on him? Because the players stopped playing this year. If you want to break it down to and they didn't want to make changes. He shows he can work in the adversity field. He shows all that. So like I said, I don't want him. I'm just saying, you look at that stuff. These coaches like Arthur Smith. Forget about his Atlanta tenure. I've already filled you in on that. Couldn't figure out how to use that offense at all with one of the most prolific game changers of the day over there in Atlanta, and couldn't use him and stuff like that. But look at that Steelers offense. What did he do to improve that offense this year in all that adversity that they had? DK Metcalf was suspended for 2 games. What did he do to make that offense look good? Because I don't know if you saw the last 2 weeks without DK Metcalf, that Ravens game. Eesh. That was terrible. So what do you do? In the face of adversity, do you get better or do you get worse? And if you get worse, now is not the time to be a Cardinals head coach because we just went through somebody that couldn't improve things when things went sideways.
Yeah, that is such an underwhelming name.
You just literally depressed me, Dale.
That's an underwhelming name.
You know, I'm so depressed, I don't even care that your shirt's see-through anymore.
Hey, the audience is asking for it, Steve.
I don't know,
popular demand.
I get a lot of comments and stuff, and I've never seen that one before.
By popular demand, the eye candy.
At what point are the Cardinals just going to be like, we're interviewing Kenny Dillingham for this position?
No, Kenny Dillon. What's the offensive coordinator at ASU?
Marcus Arroyo.
Yeah.
Who I know. Yeah, who couldn't run an Arizona offense this year to save his life. I was thinking more on a side note. I was thinking more about Sam Levitt yesterday because I saw somebody do a post, and people are legitimately now. Keep in mind, we're intimate to this stuff. We follow it more than everybody else does. Everybody else, works a real job and does all that. So I'm not making fun of this or anything. But somebody made a post that said, I find it odd that Sam Levitt hasn't done a thank you for your time at Arizona State. I'm entering the transfer portal, but thank you. I'll be a Sun Devil forever post. And I was like, you know what? He didn't do that. But you guys already know how I think about Sam Levitt. I'm not going to go so far as say he got kicked off the team. But Sam Levitt did something to where there's friction here, and he's upset about something, or he's not welcome here anymore. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, people, regular fans are starting to notice, hey, Sam Levitt didn't do a thank you.
No, he didn't do anything.
He's just gone.
It just makes me want to be a fly on the wall.
I want to know
of that last meeting.
I want to know so bad.
And how that went.
Do you think the other coaches know, or is that just Kenny and him?
I think that they know from what Kenny told them.
You think he said something, or what? Well,
they had to ask. So hey, what happened?
Well, I could tell you, they knew whatever happened with the injury.
Yep.
They know what was it from there.
How do they keep that? How's all that kept so quiet in this day and age?
That's what I don't get. To the point where beat writers for Arizona State University, and I love me some Chris Cartman. Super nice dude on top of it. Met him several times, and he's an insider. Sun Devils Digest.
Right.
Joe Healy, insider for the Arizona State Athletics with his dad, but he also does his own stuff. Brad Denny. Two foremost insiders flat out said no basketball injury. He got injured in the Baylor game, and they took the Kenny Dillingham stance of everything. Despite, and I will tell you this, people intimately knowledge of the program travel with the team on the team plane. Spend a lot of money on stuff, if you catch what I'm saying. Saying the opposite. And they took that side of it. And it's looking more and more like, yeah, are they covering?
Right.
I'm not going to blame Kenny Dillingham for lying to us. He did his job properly. Protect the kid. Protect the team. Could you imagine if we would have found out basketball injury? Oh, we are already assuming it. We were already told that. Could you imagine what we would have done?
With the assumption.
Yes. Yes, the thoughts on that. I don't know. It's just
there's something that went down because for him to meet with Kenny 2 hours before the banquet.
Yes.
And then not show up to the banquet.
And he was at the Arizona game. But was he only there because Cam was back? I got to be with Cam. Has there been a bigger fall from grace?
In 1 year. 1 year ago at this time, it was 4th and 16. It was Texas.
We were yelling about Ward's cover 0 against Texas is what we were mad about. Oh, my God. Just so embarrassing. Second hour main events coming up. Baseball talk, folks. And then Dale proudly proclaimed 3-3 on this road trip for the Suns.
2-4?
Come on back, folks. It's Dale's fault. Second hour main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and of course, 17-year NFL veteran, Dale Hillestray off to my right. Did you see, on a side note here, you're going golfing today, and that's why you're wearing a see-through shirt. It'll take about 9:45, but I want to get your thoughts on this. Last night in high school basketball.
Yeah.
Maryvale's Adrian Stubbs. First Arizona high school basketball player. Not even the bad ones like Koa Pete, Bob Bibby. None of them even did this. Scored 100 points in the game last night.
Really?
And did it in the first 3 quarters, no less. I have a legit question about this, but I'm going to give you the background first. He's a guard. Had 70 points in the first half for Maryvale. They let him go back out in the third quarter, and he dropped 30 points in the third quarter. And then sportsmanship kicked in, and they took him out of the game.
Who did they play?
Kofa? Yuma Kofa?
Oh, okay.
It's a Yuma team. I think it's Kofa, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 109-25 victory.
Okay.
Isn't that a little ridiculous? Is that a little ridiculous to let him go back out there in the second half? I mean, sure, it's a record and all that stuff, but isn't that ridiculous? Your thoughts, Dale?
Something that's never been done. Now, you got to remember, Arizona high school basketball games, they're 8-minute quarters.
Yeah. Folks, you're not 15 minutes, 12 minutes. No, they're 8-minute quarters, and they go fast. The whistles are few and far between.
There's no TV timeout.
To score 70 points in the first half means he was just shooting.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure like he just touched the ball and he was shooting it. Where's his teammates at? Don't you pass it every once in a while?
Not if you're scoring 70. You can't spell
I'm conflicted on this. Congratulations. He's a senior, by the way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, one, you're just rubbing it into the other team beyond belief. And two, what about the teammates, man?
Well, I think that they probably all agreed. You know, I didn't see
Oh, come
the game.
on. Timmy over there is like, Adrian's always hogging the ball all the time.
I wonder how many points he's averaging a game.
I'm going to look it up. Actually, I just thought of that myself.
Yeah, I wonder if he's, a 30-point game guy. And he just the first 12 shots he threw up, they went in, and it's like, oh.
Like, just keep throwing it up, kid. Yeah, 70 points and a half is ridiculous. But this is my point. You know exactly, you're familiar with it. I'm familiar with high school basketball. That seems a little egregious. It's not like it's the NBA where you got defense being played and you're making the plays. There was obviously a talent disparaging here, however you want to say it and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Is that okay?
It seems excessive.
He scored 23 points against Durango on Saturday, December 13th. I can tell you that.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So he's a senior this year. 12 games played this year. Points per game, 23.9 average. And he scored it. Now, I don't think it has last night's in there. So he's not a kid that does that. Junior year, he averaged 27.3 points per game. Sophomore year, 18.5, and freshman, 16.
Wow. So he's a pretty good player.
Yeah. But not 100 points a game type of a player.
No, that's Chamberlain didn't score 100 points a game.
Look, I'm gonna get reamed for this, for ripping a kid. And I'm not gonna rip the kid. I'm gonna rip the coaches. This isn't on the kid. If the coach still puts him out there and lets him shoot and says, hey, give the ball to Adrian, cool. Do what the coach says. This is on the coaching staff. You took advantage of a team, man. That's obviously not good.
I'd rather see the other team scoring in the 60s or something.
Yeah, if it was 100-75, you'd be like, good job.
Yeah.
Tough game. You
Yeah.
pulled it out. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where's the sportsman? Like I said, I'm not blaming the kid. Let's be clear about that. This is on the Maryvale coaching staff.
Let's look at it this way. You're telling me you go in at half.
I don't like that.
And you got 70.
Yeah.
Steve McCollum at 70.
Yeah.
You're not lobbying to come out in the
When I was in high school? Oh, no. It's how come you? Hey, Why do I only have 70? I'm hot. But that's what I'm saying. This is a coaching thing. I'm not going to blame the kid. I'm blaming the coaching staff.
Well,
Look, it was 70 at a minimum. It was 70 to 20. It was 70 to 25 at halftime, assuming Yuma Kofa didn't score at all in the second half. At a minimum, it's 70 to 25. You pull the dogs back. You have your bench guys go out there and get some playing time.
it's always the interesting thing. Number one, because what I have a feeling that happened was the coaches said, "We'll let you have the third quarter. That's it. You're not playing the fourth quarter."
But you already have 70.
The other thing is,
how many kids have scored 70 points in high school basketball? I bet you it's very few. You want to know why it's very few? Koa Pete could have scored 70 points in most of his games. Did he? No, because the coaching staff pulled him back a little bit. Anyway, go ahead. I'm fired up about this.
No, it's interesting because
fired up.
You always run into it like on the football field. There's games where we got to be good.
You see it with Wisconsin SCA.
You're up 45 to nothing, 45 to 6.
You're playing the Coronado Dons, who just don't have players there. They have a hard time fielding a team because people don't go out for football there.
Yep.
And you're up like you said, 40 points in the second quarter. What do you do?
And a lot of times, what our coaches will want to do against my wishes was have the starters play the first series of the third quarter, and then take them out.
Yeah, and look, it is up to the other team to stop them. I understand that. I understand that. If they would have scored 100 points as a team and Yuma couldn't stop them, cool. That happens.
Right.
You're not going to tell your team to stop. Hey, just wind the clock down, the shot clock down, and take a shot. If you make it, great. If you don't, they got to play defense still. I don't have a problem with that. But this was an obvious, go get it. Here's my other side. Like you said, if this kid's scoring 30 points, 40 points a game, and he's dominating out there, that's another situation, right? 21 points in the first game. Played Queen Creek High School, 15 points. Verrado, against them, he scored 31 points. 24 points against Deer Valley. 20 points against Horizon. 9 against Skyline. And they won 70 to 43 in that game. Take a note of that score real quick here. Then 30 points against O'Connor. MRHS, I don't know what that. Mountain Ridge, maybe? 48 points he scored in that game.
48?
48 points he scored. And they won 92 to 78. I don't have a problem. Score 48. You needed to win that game. I get it. 19 points against Cannon City. WHS, I don't know what that is. He scored 20 points in that one in a loss. Durango, he scored 23. Liberty, he scored 27 in that loss. All I'm saying is, this is on the coaching staff. I find this utterly disgusting.
I love how sometimes you can just bring up a topic, and then the more you talk about it, the more angry you get.
Well, I saw it this morning, and I was all like, at first I was like, oh, 100 points, good for him. And then I was like, wait, hold on. What's the circumstances? Am I alone? Am I the only one that feels this way? It's not the kid. I'm not blaming the kid. Coach said, go shoot. But coaching staff, you need to pull him back a little bit. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Boy, I wonder how it feels to be that hot.
Okay. I don't know how to say this without just disparaging Yuma Kofa. They obviously have a basketball problem. Right?
You would think.
And
25 points.
You're taking advantage and you're rubbing it into them. That's what I don't like. This is high school. You have a size advantage probably. You have a shooting advantage. You have better players advantage. You could have worked on things, and instead of working on things, look, they haven't won all these games. They've lost to several games this year. They lost to Deer Valley. They lost to Horizon. They lost to whatever WHS is, Westwood maybe. I don't know. They lost to Liberty. You can work on some things there, man. You got playoffs coming up, and instead you're focused on one kid to score 100 points. What are you doing? Rubbing it into Yuma Kofa.
Congratulations on your 100 points.
I'll give him that. It's not his fault. The coaching staff. Come on, Maryville, be better. Although they do live in Maryville, so maybe this is the one excitement they get.
Steve McCullum at
I don't care.
SMAC
Come at me with the
500.
smoke. Come at me with the smoke. I dare you to. I got a lot of other stuff I'd like to say about you. Robert says, my 5 fouls would have been administered with a lot of authority in that game. My argument is this. Umacover couldn't do it because they probably didn't have a full bench. Or if they did, then they were like begging kids to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? They took advantage of a team that's not able to play the game of basketball, proper. I'm not saying it right. They took advantage of a team that's not ready to play basketball against the big boys. This would be like Arizona tonight coming out. And now it's college, so it's different. But Arizona coming out tonight because they have a more superior, talented team than Arizona State and just scoring 300 points tonight, not letting their thing off that. You'd be like, it's kind of disgusting. You're picking on the small school of no talent.
If Cole P was going for 100 tonight, would you?
Actually, I'd be here for that.
Yeah.
My point is this. I'm utterly disgusted by that. Not the kid. Like I said, take the kid out of it. Coach just said, you go score your 100 points and we're going to take you out then. I'm not blaming the kid for that. The coaching staff. What are you doing?
He sat the whole
What did you get out? What did you get out of this? You were up at a minimum. I didn't even look up the halftime score. I don't need to. You won 109.
Well, if you just take him.
9 points were scored by other kids, Dale. I just did the math. They won 109-25. Where's the other teammates? Was he the only one on the court? Were the other 4? Were you so injured nobody else was on the court, Dale?
Maybe it was one
the
against
other
5.
The other kids scored 9 points. What are you doing?
That's what you do. You give the hot guy the ball, Steve. Have you never played basketball?
I hate how you do this. If you're the other kid, you're literally just sitting on the court picking your nose. Oh, well, I don't even know why I'm here.
No, you're setting screens.
Why am I out here, Coach?
You're setting screens,
getting
rebounds, getting the ball back to him.
I gotta see how many assists were in this game. Like, were they just feeding him, or did he just get the rebound and then just hold on to the ball the whole time? Again, I'm not attacking the high school kid. The coaching staff, though. What are you doing? 109-25. That means at halftime it was at least 70-25, and this coaching staff went, keep going, kid.
At best, it was 7.
That's what I mean, at best. And you know they scored in the second half, at least something. What are you doing? I'll tell you, I have experience with this. I was at the Desert Ridge girls game, what was that, Friday night? It was like 64-14 or something like that in the third. Gilbert, they actually pulled their starters out. They didn't go, hey, go see what you can do, girls. Keep pouring it in. And it stayed a blowout. You don't have a problem in those situations. Good for him. Adrian Stubbs. Going down in history. The coaching staff, come on, be better, guys.
Will be always in the annals of Arizona high school
and good for
basketball
him.
history. Fantastic
for him. I'm not knocking him at all. My coaches do that. You're going to play it. Listen to your coaches 100%. 100%. Hey, and the rest of the high school teams out there, I'll say this. Go out and play for Yuma Kofa. Go out and represent them against Maryville here. Show them what it's like. D-backs made a big trade yesterday, Dale. They didn't get Alex Bregman. The amount of people that were like, because Arenado, if you don't know, they traded for the Cardinals Arenado. 34 years old, third baseman, 8-time All-Star, folks. Is he in the prime of his career? No. His power's been down. His hitting, he hit 237 last year, which is low for him. Now, if you don't know, St. Louis Ballpark is a pitcher's ballpark. Unless your name's Mark McGwire. And you're on all that stuff. Then you can launch him out. And this is interesting to me. The amount of people, and he did say, because if you don't know, St. Louis is unloading everybody. They're tanking this year. And he did say that he would be willing to play first base if it means that he can get traded from him. And he has a full no-trade clause, by the way. Other teams were after him. And he chose Arizona to come here. That's fascinating to me. He played for the Rockies before, so he's familiar with
Right.
Arizona and stuff to that effect. And the amount of people that were like, man, he's our first baseman now. Cool. He's an 8-time All-Star as a third baseman. He's a really good defensive third baseman still. He's lost his power and he's lost his hitting ability a little bit. But you'll take 237.
Well,
You need a third baseman now. You need a third baseman. You've needed a third baseman for years. That's why we're waiting for Lawler to come up. Because we
Still?
need a third baseman.
still.
Well, we were waiting for Lawler to come up.
All right. So my question, or the other thing that I heard was that the fact that Diamondbacks are only picking up $5 million of
He
his
has
salary
2
each
years, $42 million left on his contract. Diamondbacks are going to have to pay at most $11 million of that contract for one of the better third basemen in the league, even at 34 years old. One of the third. Quit trying to move him to first, folks. He's your third baseman this year. Now, will he play every day? Well, Hazen afterwards in his press conference, he said they'll address that. But Diamondbacks are expecting him to play a lot at third base. And all you've done on this trade, forget about the offensive stats. Let's just say he bats 100 this year. Who cares? Your defense just got exponentially better. Say what you want about Geno Suarez last year, right? Hit the ball like crazy. Guy would spray the ball around there a little bit, and errors and things to that effect. Arenado doesn't do that. I'm really happy. Now I would have rather had Bregman, but that would have mean you had to trade Ketel, and we all know they're fine with mediocre. They're fine with nonchalance out there. I like this. I love this pickup. Your defense got exponentially better yesterday. Also, you got to remember, you don't have not Perdomo, Gurriel Jr. You won't have him for a lot of this season because of his blew out his knee last year.
Right.
So Blaze Alexander is going to have to play some outfield. He's probably going to take that spot for a while. Lawler can play outfield as well. He can play second base, platoon, stuff like that. You've got Tawa. He can play outfield, obviously, as well. You got rid of Jake McCarthy, so you're going to need somebody to platoon. This is what I do hate about this trade, because the Diamondbacks plays odds and stuff like that, right? Lefty, lefty, righty, right. They do that stuff. This trade for Arenado is going to allow them and the young guys to play sporadically when the matchups are there. They're going to blame matchups a lot for not playing the young guys throughout this year. That drives me nuts about the Diamondbacks out there. I like this trade. I like the money. Even if it was the full contract, I'd like this trade. But the fact that they're getting him for only $11 million, I love this trade. Love it.
I don't see a downside to it.
No. Even if his offense is terrible, you've shored up your defense. Perdomo, Arenado on the left side of the infield, balls aren't getting through there, folks. You're going to have to hit it over them to get it past these two guys. Fantastic pickup here on the defensive side of things. If you want to know what Mike Hazen said about the trade, he did it from his hotel room or something yesterday after the trade went down. And you gave up nothing for him, too. You gave up some kid in AA or something.
Can of beans.
Literally gave up nothing for an 8-time All-Star. Yes, he's at the end of his career. Here's the other side. He wanted to be here.
Right.
Because if he didn't, he wouldn't have waived his no-trade clause. So now you got a guy that wants to be here. You've got a guy that did his no-trade clause to be here. That's fantastic as well. Because we do have a second baseman that acts like he doesn't want to be here all the time. So you got another locker room guy in here to kind of counteract that side of things. Mike Hazen, yes, it's about a minute and a 5-second clip here of his press conference yesterday talking about their move here to get Arenado. If I can say it right. This is a Hazen on trade here, Kobe. Threw it at Kobe here. Give him a minute. If he's got it. He's going to come back and go, I don't got it, Steve. Well, Dale, I tell you what, while he's getting that loaded up.
I think he's a good fit for us as a team. We lost some of our position player group last year in the middle of the season when I traded them at the deadline. So even though I know a lot of the fixation this offseason has been on the pitching, we still felt like adding back to the position player group was important for us. We think he really solidifies our defense on the infield. It's been a priority for us to improve our defense. which I believe is going to have a direct impact on our pitching in a significant way. And I think it builds out sort of the depth around our team, allowing some of the younger guys to, be versatile, play, have matchups selected for them, etc. And I like the way we've always liked the way he's played the game, the impact he can have when he's not playing inside the walls is important to us. I think he's a good fit from that standpoint too. I know how much winning means to him and is important to him, and it's important to us.
He looked like he was staying at Holiday Inn Express. Come on, Stevie. Where's that suite?
Doesn't he have a suite? I know. Don't you have a separate room?
You wouldn't stay in a room like that.
No, but I'm Steve McCollum.
I don't see the downside to this. I'd be a little more bothered if they were paying the full salary.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. For an 8-time All-Star that shores up your third base side, I wouldn't have cared on that either.
Well, it's not your money.
Well, here's the problem. Yeah, everybody that's like, oh, I don't like this trade if it was the full dollar amount because he's 34 years old. It's not your money. Shut up. Why is everybody trying to spend all these owners' money and everything?
Or not spend
Who cares? Yeah, like God, who cares? Jeez. But I wouldn't have. But no, I love it even. You love it even more when you're only paying $11 million of it,
right.
And then the other team's picking it up. Absolutely. Robert says, don't hate the Arenado move, especially with the Cardinals picking up a bunch of payroll. The move's similar to the signing of Longoria in 2023. Need a veteran presence in the clubhouse. And that's what bothers me about this. And you heard Hazen say it right there as well. We got a clubhouse guy.
Yeah, inside the walls.
Why isn't your second baseman the clubhouse guy?
Because he's not. Just move on, Steve. He's not.
Why is he here if he can't be a clubhouse guy?
I've heard you slobber over him. He's the first or second best second baseman in the league.
Yeah, and I'm the guy that wants him gone. I can't go through another season of this nonsense. Winded his back. Oh, he took a ball off his shin protector, so he's got to take a few days. He didn't feel right. Oh, we think he's ready to go, but he didn't feel right, so we had to take him out. I'm always going to protect the players, as Torrey says. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. How many clubhouse guys do we need to counteract the one that's not a clubhouse guy?
You will never forget the win at the back.
That was the stupidest mistake I've ever heard in my life of somebody to come up with an excuse. It was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Well, San Francisco's a tough place. He had his win at his back for 2 days, and I know what that feels like. And Torrey said it with a straight face.
You got to come up with something better than that, don't you?
He sneezed and he hurt his back. That's better than the wind at his back. And he stiffens up with his wind at his back. Stretch him out. You have trainers. Lay on the ground and have that trainer grab him by the ankles and stick that knee in his face. Stretch him out. My point is.
Use a heating pad.
My point is. Well,
Ben Gay.
Can you use heating pads when you're on the plane to the Dominican?
Ben Gay.
Is that allowed? Is that still a thing? I was thinking about that the other day. Is Ben Gay still a thing?
I think that's been replaced by this other thing, and I forget what.
Yeah, because now they have like the icy hots and stuff like They have like different technology, right?
Stronger.
Yeah, I don't know why that popped in my head the other day. I was like, what happened to Ben Gay? Is that still around?
I think it's still around. You used to be able to smell it coming before
that was the problem.
It.
I remember walking into locker rooms in high school, junior high, and just be like, dude, what the heck are you guys doing in here? You guys are rubbing all over their backs and their knees, and it's just like, what's happening? I think this is a fantastic pickup. I love everything about it, 100%. And like I said, I don't even care about and Hazen said that in his interview as well. He basically said, we don't care about your he's telling them, you have no pressure to produce offensively here. Zero. Be our third baseman. The Diamondbacks have struggled on the third base side for a lot of years. Longoria kind of shorted up a little bit with the young guys, but he couldn't play every day. This is somebody that they're expecting to come in and play. They're going to have conversations with them. He's not going to play every day. He's probably going to get some days out there to get the young guys on that corner and stuff. But he's going to be your main third base side guy. And look, if you're bringing in an 8-time All-Star, 34-year-old guy veteran who's played in this division before in Colorado, he wants to be here. And if the young kids can't look up to him and learn from him, then they're not the right young kids to have on this team. I think this is exciting. Let's go Diamondbacks. Hazen, I'm not going to call for your firing.
Just yet?
Yet. Well, you have another week before I get annoyed with you again. From that side, Dale. So that's exciting news for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Starting to ramp up, Steve. We're ramping up for spring training.
Well, we're ramping up for spring training. We're gonna have to, guys, 162 game season. We got
plus 162 plus playoffs.
Yeah, we got the playoffs coming, guys. So we gotta make sure these guys can be here for the whole season. So we're looking at a May start date for some of these guys. Middle of May probably is when we'll get rolling. Middle of May, if we're lucky. How mad are you going to be when he starts talking like that?
Is that how Torey Lovullo talks?
Well, no, he does it all. He does it more calm. I had too much enthusiasm. It's 162 games out there, and our goal is to make sure they're not ready for game 1 because we need them for game 162, and we need to make sure. So we're going to slow roll them out of spring training. We're gonna not let them pitch here, and Marte, he's going to be out for a couple weeks because we don't want him to overdo it in spring training and not be here for us in June, July, August when we need him the most. So we're gonna slow roll him out here. He's gonna be on the sideline for a couple days here. I mean, this Arizona sun in March is brutal. He sweated a little bit yesterday, and water loss is a serious thing here in Arizona, and the humidity, quite frankly, is of the water just evaporating off of Marte's body was too much. And so we're going to let him calm down. We're going to let him calm down for a little bit, for a few days, and get his body under temperature again and everything. And, we need to do this for him because I know how his body reacts the next day. And we just got to protect him from the water and the sweat that comes off of his body while he's out there in the Arizona sun for spring training. And, it's a big concern for us. We've seen studies of this offseason, and I think the the stats tell us a sweaty Marte is a no good Marte. He's great in that game. It takes him a couple days to ramp back up again, to get that sweat going again. So we've determined a phrase here: sweaty Marte is a no go Marte. So we're gonna have to protect him from himself here. Make sure he's with us for the playoff push coming up.
Because he's clamoring to get out there.
We're going to hear something stupid like that this year. It's going to be a long season, Dale. Long season. Diamondbacks baseball. Looking forward to
it. Are you looking more forward to that or the Utah Mammoth playoff run?
They're not going to the playoffs. They got injured, man. Logan Cooley signed that big deal and then got injured. They're not going to the playoffs. They suck again. Did you see the Winter Classic's going to be in Salt Lake City next year?
I did not see that.
Yeah. Going to break it out at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Yes. Okay. Good news is everybody that buys a ticket will be able to see the whole ice. The bad news is because it's at Rice-Eccles Stadium, a hockey rink is not that big. You're not going to be able to see the ice because you're going to be sitting so far away from it. Because it's in the middle of the field and you're so far away. So good news is you'll at least be able to see the whole surface there when you buy a ticket to the Winter Classic. Whereas unlike in the stadium, only 11,000 of you can see the whole ice. So this is positive, Dale. Moving in the right direction here in Salt Lake City from the best owner in sports.
And by the way, Steve, get your facts straight. Don't just throw out flippant comments.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
They are the number one wild card with plenty of space.
You don't even know how to read it.
Yeah, I do.
Plenty of space.
Yeah, they got 2 whole points to spare.
I don't even. Yeah, that's not plenty of space, man. That's a game. I was gonna say, aren't the Kings right there? Don't the Kings right behind them in Nashville?
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me.
They're the number one wild card, followed by San Jose, Kings.
Shockingly, Chicago's in this race too for the wild card. Isn't Chicago still up there?
Yeah, but they're falling behind.
How many points do they have?
They got 45.
I was gonna say they're in the 40s.
It's going to take them 3 weeks to make up the 5 points.
They're not going to make the playoffs. Logan Cooley got hurt. They're done. Can you imagine a playoffs? I want them to make the playoffs just so Gary Bettman can tell the world on the greatest owner in sports is hosting a playoff series. I want them to win the division. I want them to host the first round playoff game. Heck, get to the Stanley Cup final. So we can all hear Gary Bettman talk about how only 11,000 people can see the whole ice there. 6,000 tickets sold for a Stanley Cup playoffs or the playoff series, which tickets are way more expensive. I want to see Gary Bettman justify 6,500 people not being able to see the whole ice in there.
6,500.
I want to see that justification and how the best owner in sports.
Well, since they left town, I really haven't paid that much attention to hockey. I didn't realize Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota are in the same division.
Yes, all in the Central.
And they have 74, 63, and 61 points between the three.
Those three. Those are 1 through 3, yes. They are head and shoulders above everybody.
And then in the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights and Edmonton Oilers have 54 points, leading the way.
Yep. And the Kraken, of all people, are right there, too.
Yeah.
Right? Are they in the 50s still?
Yes.
Yeah. I know. We need to talk more hockey on this show.
Utah Mammoth.
No. Well, then if you look at the Eastern, I think the Western division of the Central division of the NHL is the best division by far.
By far.
Even the East is like only in the low 60s for their leading teams.
Well, actually, that Atlantic, the Lightning have 61, Red Wings 60, and Canadians 59.
Yeah, but the Central's 70, right?
The leader, yeah.
Colorado. Colorado's 74. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Vegas. Injuries are. They won 4 in a row, but they've had some tough ones this year. Oilers. I can't believe how bad the Oilers have gotten. They're young.
You watch hockey?
I do. I don't watch it as much as I used to when the Coyotes were here. Like I used to have the NHL package and everything. Now I'll have it on. I used to watch the early games because 7 p.m. game on the East Coast starts at 4 here, so I'd have it on, and then I would watch the Coyotes or the Knights or whatever. Avalanche probably would be teams I'd pay attention to. But now that they've left, I don't buy the NHL package anymore. So I only watch the network ones a couple times a week. Then it has to be a good team. Has to be a good team. I will not. I used to spend the time watching crappy teams, like the Jets and everything. I don't do that anymore. It has to be good teams playing, or else I won't pay attention to it. Why would I? Gary Bettman said we're crappy fans here. We don't deserve a team. But the best owner in sports with his 11,000 seat View Arena, best guy in sports. By the way, Utah Jazz still sucking, but the best owner in sports.
I don't think he's the best owner in sports, but he's one step ahead of the Coyotes ownership group.
Because there isn't one now?
Yeah.
In all seriousness on the Mammoth, I'm actually surprised that when Cooley went down, I'm surprised they stayed where they are, to be honest with you. I expected a fall off. They even when they were here, it was like they're going to fight for a playoff spot, and they just never could do it.
No, because the ice in Arizona is full of losing.
They were in a 5,000 arena stadium instead of the 11,000 visual. That 5,000 matters.
4,500. Who are you kidding?
Dale, LeBron James and the Lakers.
Not LeBron, his agent.
Wait, where are you going with this?
Well, I don't know where you're going with
this. No, where are you going with this? Rich Paul? Did you see the Washington quarterback signed with Clutch Sports as his new agency? His other agent fired him?
Yeah.
And now he's signed with Clutch Sports?
I did not see that. I just saw that Rich Paul came out and said that the Lakers should trade.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even see that.
And so LeBron came out and said, hey, my agent talks for himself. He doesn't talk for me.
The agent isn't wrong.
Austin Reeves. He said he should trade Austin Reeves.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, his agent wants Austin Reeves. I thought you meant he wanted LeBron traded.
No.
His agent wants Austin Reeves traded because he's better than LeBron is these days on that team.
Oh, yeah.
When he's healthy. But no, did you see? So LeBron's in his 23rd year. And just like last week, they came out with a pin. Not a patch that's sewed on, a pin. that they wear on their jerseys that commemorates LeBron's 23rd basketball year. Has 23 on it. What self-effacing? Could you imagine if the Ravens came to you like your 17th NFL year? We're all going to wear a patch for your 17th year.
I'd say, well, put it on the front and back.
What are you doing? 23rd year, like make it about me some more, guys.
Yeah.
What kind of joke is that? 23rd. I'm a team player, guys. That's what he keeps saying. I'm a team player. I'm a team player. Oh, you want more attention to me that I'm in my 23rd year? Yes, please. That's so stupid. Dale would be selfish like that. That does not surprise me. Your Suns lost at Miami last night. You jinxed it, saying they'll go 3-3 on this road trip. Your fault.
Boy, that 3-3 is starting to get a little bit saucy.
I was
for
worried
me.
about the back end
Yeah.
of this road trip. They got Detroit coming up next. Devin Booker hurt his ankle last night. If you know, he came back into the game, but adrenaline and tape can do amazing things.
Yes.
On the night that you get injured. How's it feel today? How's it feel tomorrow? Is the question mark.
Yeah.
Is this where you kind of go, oh, Jalen Green, you need to play against Detroit coming up? They've already said he's not playing against Detroit, by the way. So you could be without
Why don't
Booker
you just
and
save
Green.
him for the playoffs?
We're gonna go back to that mentality.
Jeez.
We'll turn it on when the playoffs get
Yeah.
here.
Hey, it worked for the Diamondbacks, right?
Okay. Your first game of your road trip, you're in Miami, I get it. Miami's been playing like garbage lately. Bam's been atrocious. They haven't been able to score a lot of points, and you're down by 20 for most of the game. Third quarter, you make the run and come back into it, and then Bam, the guy that's been sucking lately, looks like he's a Hall of Famer in that fourth quarter and ends up beating you 127-121. This is the first game of the road trip. That's not a good sign. Let's just put it that way. Were the Suns looking ahead to Detroit, so they were dismissing the Miami Heat last night, Dale?
Well, it's interesting. You know, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Adebayo was not playing well. Norman Powell was questionable.
Oh, yes.
And what does Adebayo do? Goes 11 for 15, scores 29 points, has 9 rebounds, and Norman Powell comes out and scores 27.
And they both made critical plays in the fourth quarter when they needed them to keep the Suns at bay, if you will. Yeah. This was an alarming thing last night. Lose to the Heat. There's no shame in losing to the Heat. The way that they played yesterday. First game on the road trip. What does that say for the rest of these road trip games?
Well, maybe they're getting their sea legs under them.
The party boat was a little too rocking. They couldn't get it going.
Maybe they went out in Miami Beach.
Dylan Brooks didn't show up. This is why I say we need Jalen Green. Like everybody's like, Jalen Green's going to mess with the chemistry. To me, I see the Suns hitting walls right now with guys that weren't supposed to play this much, having to play this much.
Right.
And I'll include Dylan Brooks into that as well. Now, you expected Dylan Brooks to put up 35, minutes or so anyway. But then he has that extra pressure. He's playing out of his mind in terms of the scoring side. He's having a career year on the scoring side. That's going to come back down to earth at some point, especially if you're more tired. And that's why I think Jalen Green is going to come back at the right time, barring he stays healthy, is because you're going to get into more regular rotation. Colin Gillespie, every time he's out there, man, he looks like he's taking a death shot where he's going to be out for the rest of the year. And he just stands up and runs back out there like nothing happened, It's just these guys saying they're tired is hard to say, but some of these guys are hitting a wall. Colin Gillespie hasn't played this many minutes in how many years?
Right.
The physicality that they play with as well.
Yeah,
at this level. And the physicality you're playing with on top of it. I think they need Jalen Green back to kind of give guys breathers and get that rotation set, get a system in there and everything to where guys are resting a little bit more. Because you're seeing it. Dylan Brooks last night, 36 minutes. Yeah, he had the 25 points, but from threes, man. Ugh. Stop shooting. At one point, I was all, stop shooting the ball.
Can't make them if you don't take them.
But Devin Booker, 40 minutes with an ankle injury that he sustained at one point in the game.
Those
Why?
have a way of. Why?
Why?
Because they came back.
Why? Nick Richards, 0 minutes again. When is that trade happening? Why is that taking so long to trade him?
Well, you got to find somebody to trade him to. Have we
Give him
found
to
that
Hazen.
out?
Hazen will get him gone and have the other team pick up the whole contract.
Haven't we found that out? I mean, Ketel Marte was on the block for 6 months.
I know, and they couldn't get anything
No.
for him. They couldn't even get a bag of balls for him. Even teams were like, "Nah, we like our balls.
Our batting practice balls.
We're not going to give those to you at all." So Detroit tomorrow night. It was last night alarming to you for this road trip. Look, they go 2-4. It's not ideal to do that on this road trip, but that's also not embarrassing with who they're playing for the most part.
No, it's again, you're going to have games like this over 82 games. Now, again, if this becomes a pattern, if they come back 0-6,
Dale, why are you putting that in the universe?
I'm just saying, then you got something to worry about a little bit.
I'm just saying they had a little too much fun on Miami Beach. They were looking forward to Detroit.
South Beach.
Oh, South Beach, yeah. They're looking too much forward to the Pistons. You know, they want to show the Pistons what's up.
Well, they should be focused when they're up in Detroit because
Yeah,
there ain't
sure.
a whole lot going, unless you go across the border.
How the cold.
Unless-
Yeah, but you're going to freezing. You're not going to do that, are you? Suns moved back down into the 7 seed with the loss last night as well. 6.5 games back. Oh my God! Did you see from the Thunder? Did you see? Okay, they got to do something about this. Did you see Wemby and Shea? And Shea went to the ground, and Wemby was going for a rebound, and Shea basically he was laying on the ground, and he basically closed his legs around Wemby's foot when Wemby went to jump, and Wemby went down.
I did not see that.
They're dirty, man. It's just, I enjoyed the Oklahoma City Thunder last year because they played hard. They were the team. They were the team basketball and old school basketball. But dude, they've turned dirty, man. I'm turning on them a little bit. Like, why do you have to play that way? It's stupid. Yeah, they Thunder beat the Spurs last night for that 4-2 spot. If the Suns would have won, it would have helped them.
All righty.
Dale, you're gonna go play some golf here. I'll wrap up the last 10 minutes of the show.
I want you to go over the. Do you have the game by game, the play by play from that 100-point basketball game? Why don't you go over that?
Why do you have to get me upset again? Maryville coaching staff. That's just. I want to know, did the Kofi coach, Yuma Kofa coach, complain about that?
He didn't play in the fourth quarter, Steve.
His rest of his team scored 9 points. Boy, that helps out with teamwork. That makes you want to play, doesn't it?
So they scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, and he scored 100 first three.
You know what? I should look that up.
Yeah.
Did they have any shot on
No.
it? I got to find the assist. I want to know if there's assists. What are you doing, Maryville head coaches? That's just, I don't know. I don't know why it bothers
It's a
me so much.
night that he will never forget.
Yeah, well, and congratulations to him. I'm not blaming the kid. Come on, coaching staff. What are you doing? The rest of the team. You have other. Maybe he was the only player on the court. Maybe that's the thing I'm missing. Maybe he was the only Maryville player. Maybe their grades weren't good, and half the team got benched before the game started. And this kid just had to do everything.
Now you're talking.
I am disgusted by it. Dale, get out of here with your see-through shirt. And go play some golf. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll come back, folks, and finish up the show strong. Come on back and join me. The main events. All right, folks. Am I alone in this? Like, Dale's giving me a hard time as he's leaving. He's playing the devil's advocate here. But here, I looked up the team stat comparison between Maryville and Yuma Kofa. Maryville averages points per game 70.8. I don't know if that includes the 80, but I already told you what the kid scores normally in games. All right. Kofa scores 18.9 points per game. Okay. Some of you are going to come at me and say, it's basketball, you got to stop them or whatever. Okay, fine. You're right. They do have to stop him. But he scored 100 points. The rest of the team scored 9. What does that say for teamwork? What does that say for the other kids on the team of Maryville? What are we doing? Like I said, there's circumstances where you can look at a 100-point game and be like, they needed that 100 points from him. This was not it. They took advantage of a team that obviously doesn't have basketball players on it, right? They're trying the best they can. And I don't mean that negatively. I just mean that obviously averaging 18 points per game. The school that maybe they had to get kids that don't want to play basketball, right? And they talked them into playing it to field the team. Something to that effect. Am I alone in being kind of critical of this? Like I said, I'm not critical of the kid himself. Your coach says go score, you go score. Period, end of story. I'm putting this on the coaching staff of Maryville. Let's be clear about that. 70 points in the first 8-minute quarters. That tells me, without seeing the game, and now it could be off base, that tells me a lot of turnovers were happening to get to that. Because they're 8-minute quarters. Just score 70 in the first half. I don't know. Like I said. Should I not be upset about it? Should I not be raising this point? I mean, I'm going to leave the show and forget about it. I'm not like upset. It's not ruining my day or anything. And like I said, that's a phenomenal feat for this kid in 3 quarters to score 100 points. 9 points for the rest of his team. Forget about what he did against Kofa. 9 points for the rest of his team. Holy ball hog city, Batman. All right. I'll get over it. Maybe. I don't know how many people are going to be upset with me at bringing that point up. I don't get it, man. I just don't. We got the news, if you missed it earlier today, that the Cardinals are looking to interview Pittsburgh Steelers defensive coordinator Arthur Smith for their head coaching position. I'm doing a refresh now. Let's see who else the Cardinals want to bring in, also from that side. Because it's weird. Interesting enough, Cowboys, they need a defensive coordinator. The Washington Commanders need an offensive and defensive coordinator coming up this year. Now, you're going to have to fill. Now, I do see here Cowboys are going to interview their defensive line coach to move up and be a defensive coordinator. They're interviewing him there. A defensive coordinator position, you're not going to hire that position most likely until some of these guys, there's so many of them in this head coaching hiring circle right now. You're going to wait for, those positions, head coaching positions to be filled, right? Because if not, then maybe you can go after them and those types of guys as well as you need to fill those positions out there as well. So I did see, sorry, I just caught my eye here on some other high school basketball stuff. Congratulations, man. 100 points a game. I'm not joking around. That is a phenomenal feat. But okay. I'd be pissed if I was his teammate. I just would. I seriously, text in, of course, 623-252-6670. Hit me up on X as well. Am I being a little ridiculous about this? Congratulations to the kid. But what are we doing as a coaching staff and setting this up for him and that stuff is the bigger question that I have out there and what we're dealing with. Yeah. All right. I love the Arenado trade to wrap up kind of what we talked about today. Dale liked it as well, especially the amount you got him for. I personally, Dale wouldn't have liked it with the full contract of 2-year, $42 million. I would have liked it at that even because this team has always struggled with third base. And you're waiting for these young guys to come up, right? Arenado's going to bring some confidence to that position, lack of errors in that position, and 8-time All-Star. I don't care he's 34 years old. I see a lot of people hung up on that as well. I like to trade a lot, especially with the dollar amount. But even if you take the dollar amount out, whatever you paid for him, you got him for basically nothing. But I'm most impressed with he wants to be here. And I know I spend a lot of time giving Ketel Marte. I have a Ketel Marte problem, not his basketball prowess, just his mental side. And I don't like how they defend him all the time. We've been over this 1,000 times. So I'm going to continue to be kind of critical of that until he proves me otherwise. And then we played you the Hazen clip where he said, another guy, a clubhouse guy. He wants to be here. We're strengthening that clubhouse a little bit more. Does that lead with another 8-time All-Star, or an 8-time All-Star coming into this locker room? Does that leave Ketel Marte down the path of not doing what he pulled last couple of years? It'll be interesting to watch. It's something to pay attention to as well moving forward for the Diamondbacks and everything. Of course, this weekend we got NFL wildcard round coming our way. I tend to agree with Dale. You know what? Let me look it up here while I'm talking. The Seahawks 49ers, that's the Saturday night game, 6 p.m. I know that the Seahawks are favored by 7.5 is where it opened up to this weekend. I'm kind of curious. Of course, don't forget, Uncle Lou tomorrow at 9 o'clock coming in. We're getting closer to the UFC. Next week, we'll have a UFC fight for the first one of the year, and it's going to be a big fight, folks. Big, huge fight. Big names, big matchups. First one on Paramount. UFC's trying to capitalize on it. So we get Lou this week. Again, all NFL coming our way and things like that. Let me get the latest odds for you. Not because, and I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't gamble. I hate when people talk gambling. It gives you an insight of what a lot of people think about this game when you look at the point spreads, even if you don't gamble. It puts you an insight on how people look at it, how people are looking at it, and things to that effect. So it's moved a little bit. And I looked at FanDuel the other day. It was 7.5-point opening there for Seattle. 7-point favorites for Seattle now. So that line has moved down half a point there to that 7 spot for Seattle right now. I tend to agree with Dale on that. I think I'll just say it. I'm trying to be hesitant here to say this, but I think the Niners have zero chance in this game. Now, can they keep it close in the first half? Seattle coming off the bye. At home, they're going to be jacked up. So can they make some mistakes and 49ers stay in? I just think in the long run with this game with the injuries, losing Kittle on top of it, now definitely out this game, obviously, with the Achilles injury. I just think this is a mismatch for just an absolute mash unit there of the 49ers. So I do like Seattle covering that 7 as of right now as well. Bills-Bronco, well, right now, Bills are 1.5-point favorites in this game. I am curious on how the Broncos come out of the bye week. Young team, defensive team mainly. Young team, though, coming off the bye week. Listening to the papers all last couple of weeks as well. Bills with a lot of experience coming into here. They just played that good, close game there against Jacksonville. And I'm interested in seeing. I do think the Broncos are going to win that game as of now. I could change my mind here as we get closer. But as of now, I do think the Broncos win that game, and they're 1.5-point underdogs right now at home to the Bills. That fascinates me. But I do wonder, I do kind of curious here, and we'll get Uncle Lou's thoughts tomorrow. How do the Broncos play in this game with the off week? Bills playing. They come in healthier, but younger team. Interesting thoughts there. Those are the Saturday games coming up as well. Then you got Texans-Patriots are the early game, 1 o'clock our time on Sunday. Right now, Patriots are 3-point favorites. 41.5 is the over-under as of right now. This one, I don't know who to pick. Texans defenses showed you how good they are. Now, can the Patriots scheme around that and get some points on the board? Because I think they're going to have to score some points. I think the Texans will score some points in this game. Up until this last weekend, Texans' offense has not been good. Now, they went on that it was a 7-6 ball game on Monday night until they broke it open. The Steelers' defense finally broke. I could see the same type of thing happening with the Patriots this weekend. Right now, Patriots are 3-point favorites for that. Then you got Rams-Bears. Folks, this is going to be the game of the weekend. I saw weather's going to be cold again. Rams going into the cold. I saw some stats. Matthew Stafford in the cold. Yes, he played in Detroit, because somebody's going to go, he played in Detroit. Detroit was a dome. Don't forget. Matthew Stafford's not good in the cold in the pros. Right now, Rams are 3.5-point favorites in this game. I think 3.5. I think this is a pick'em game right now. If I was handicapping this, it's a pick'em. 3.5 to me is too much right now going into this game, especially on the Rams side. To me, this game's going to come down to, it's going to be a high-scoring affair. The Bears defense, I don't know if they can stop Puka Nacua. I don't know if they can stop the running game, as that pounds down on them. I'm not sure if the Rams defense can stop a lot of what the Bears do. I think this game could come down to turnovers. Bears get more turnovers than the Rams, they win this game. Rams get more turnovers than the Bears, I think they win that game. I think it's going to be a close game, but I do think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. Over-under on this game right now is 48.5. I don't think the cold weather is going to affect the Rams as much as you would think on a Western team, a team from California. But it's going to be fascinating thing there. But to me, that's the game of the weekend. That's like the can't-miss one coming up. And it might turn into, kind of a lopsided game. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. And I think the coaching staffs and the creativity, I'll just say this, Cardinals fans, it's going to make you want to throw up. With the creativity we're about to see in that game compared to what we've seen with the Drew Penzing offense here at the Cardinals last couple of years. Robert says at TME Sports Show, Texans/Patriots, hoping for a tie, and they both get kicked out of the playoffs. Yeah, I think, okay, if I had to rank them, I'll tell you right now, Rams-Bears to me is the game of the weekend. 49ers-Seahawks isn't the worst game. I do think this becomes a blowout. Seattle's going to blow out the 49ers. Like I said, they're just going to overwhelm them as that game goes on. But I don't think it's the worst game to watch this weekend, to be honest with you. I do think the worst game to watch this weekend is the Texans-Patriots. So I have Texans-Patriots as the worst game to watch. 49ers-Seahawks would be second just because. But I'm intrigued by that because I like the way they both play as NFC West teams. But there. Then I'll put Bills-Broncos next there. The Bills can beat the Broncos. The Broncos can beat the Bills. 1.5 points is probably the right spread for me. I would just put it more on the Broncos side than I would on the Bills side, to be honest with you. Right now, Bills are 1.5-point favorites. I'm using FanDuel here. Broncos defense going to keep the Bills from scoring. If this is a low-scoring affair, Broncos are going to win that game. If this becomes a shootout, the Bills are going to win the game. 46.5 is the over-under. So that would be my third game. That if I was ranking them right now for the season, for the playoffs this weekend, that's what I would look at. We'll talk more NFL, of course, tomorrow with Uncle Lou. Don't forget, next week, first UFC match here of the 2026 season, Paramount Plus, numbered event. So last week here with Lou with the playoff games this weekend. Next week, of course, we will talk the NFL, the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship, whatever those games are called. I just struggled on that. Plus the UFC battle coming up as well. That'll be next Thursday. This weekend, NFL talk, of course, with him. Coming up tomorrow as well, folks. And McCollum on Business coming up at 11 o'clock as well. We'll see you then over there. And thanks for joining us here today. We'll see you next time here tomorrow, 8 to 10 a.m. here on Robat TV. Don't forget, YouTube page. Podcast as well for everybody on however you watch it. Don't forget the text line, the 623-252-6670. It's up on X as well, at TME Sports Show. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great one.